watching CBS 6 News, now in high definition.
Good morning to you. It's just before 9 o'clock on this Thursday morning, the 2nd of September. You're watching CBS 6. I'm Cheryl Miller.
And good morning. I'm Greg McQuade. We are Central Virginia's only local talk and entertainment show. Virginia This Morning starts in about 5 minutes at 9 o'clock. Don't go anywhere. We have great guests plus 2 chances for you to be a winner sometime during the next 60 minutes.
That's right. On the show today, the award-winning duo, the Mendes Brothers, are here in Richmond for a special performance thanks to Daphne and Tim Reed's Legacy Media Institute. This group's unique sound is a mix of African, Portuguese, and Caribbean melodies. Before their concert at the Virginia Museum tonight, the brothers are here to perform for you. There they are, and here's a preview.
Ribeira Grande de Santiago, berço de novo mundo, portão grande de Atlântico, nosso portão de regresso.
Looking forward to that. A little a cappella. Hey, we are stopping to smell the flowers here in Virginia this morning. Our resident green thumb expert, Mark Viette, he's going to be singing some a cappella about how simple it is to create some beautiful flower arrangements and give tips to preserve those beautiful buds.
And have you ever thought of grilling avocados? Celebrity chef Tyler Florence says they're delicious that way. He'll show us how to whip up several easy but delicious appetizers to amaze your game day guests.
Looking forward to that. Someone's been looking forward to a storm coming. His name is Earl. There's actually 2 more systems in the Atlantic as well that she's talking about.
Yeah, we're not really looking forward to it that much, but it's going to come no matter what we say, right, Carrie?
That's right. By this time tomorrow, we'll be feeling the impacts of Earl across eastern parts of the state. But even here in Richmond, it'll be a bit of a blustery day. Rain chances for us, though, are pretty much slim to none because Earl is going to stay just offshore. So let me show you the latest on Earl. The center of it is just to the east of Florida, and it is making swift progress now to the northwest at 18 miles per hour. It is a major hurricane with sustained winds of 145 miles per hour, but check out the gusts up to 175 miles per hour. As I mentioned, it is also going to be impacting the Outer Banks by tonight. They will already start to see tropical storm force winds, and I'll talk more about those impacts coming up in just a little bit. Greg and Cheryl?
Serious.
It is.
Thanks, Carrie. You think you have issues coming in on the Powhite Parkway or 64 in the morning? Nothing like this. Check this out. To China we go. Just outside Beijing, where this traffic jam is stretching, get this, 75 miles. Just the other day, it was only 18 miles long. The gridlock is now into its 3rd day. All started because traffic officials there, right outside of Beijing, started to create some traffic restrictions along the Beijing-Tibet highway. Many of the vehicles are those vehicles right there carrying coal. And now these traffic jams are becoming more and more popular in China because of their economy. It's just rolling right along, and there's no end in sight to this one. And they just cleared up a 70-mile traffic jam last week. So these traffic jams would keep Amanda Meadows very busy.
Well, here at home, there might be quite a line around the Roundhouse in Bird Park this Saturday. They are doing an open casting call for a Lifetime movie that's going to be shooting here in the area coming up soon. The movie is set to air Thanksgiving, so it's going to be a quick turnaround. But they're looking for all kinds of people. They need people with special skills, like if you play pool or if you country line dance or if you're a referee or coach. So they're looking for people like that. And then just some general extras. If you look like a football fan, they're looking for you. So come to the Roundhouse at Bird Park 10 to 2 this Saturday and bring a pen and a non-returnable photograph of yourself.
I love Lifetime. You'll love Virginia This Morning right after this.
Good morning, Virginia. This is Virginia This Morning with Greg McQuade and Cheryl Miller. This is Virginia This Morning.
Well, good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining us here on Virginia This Morning. I am Cheryl Miller.
And good morning, I'm Greg McQuade. Well, our first guests today are Ramiro and João Mendes, award-winning brothers who are the pioneers of Cape Verde's bandera and taliabasso music.
The Mendes Brothers will perform a very special concert tonight at the Virginia Museum of Fine Arts as part of Tim Reed's Legacy Media Institute. They'll give you a taste of their unique sound later in this show, but first we welcome them here. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
I forgot the shades.
No,
You look cool. You look cool. Keep them on. Keep them on. Keep them on.
You don't want to go Hollywood, are you?
Hey, you guys are bi-coastal. Brockton, Mass, and Los Angeles, right?
Yes. Yeah, David. I understand you're from Somerville.
Yeah, Somerville, right up the road from you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's nice to see you.
Let's talk a little bit about where you're originally from. Where does the music influence come from in your life?
Well, we're from Cape Verde Islands, where the Earl just came through, and we told him to stay away from here.
Oh, good.
And our music is mixed of Cape Verde music, the West Indian music, the Angolan music, and American music.
It's a blend of everything, right? Calypso, it really is. I mean, give a flavor. I mean, what kind of music, how would you describe it?
It's very hard to describe because you have the older styles of music, which is more Africanized, if you will. You have the newer style of music, which is blends of the many cultures which came through Cape Verde. So some of it to a foreign ear will sound like Caribbean music, but because we share a lot of the same claves, a lot of the same, rhythm patterns,
It sounds good, definitely.
well, thank you.
That's the bottom line. It just
Bottom
sounds good. Now, as brothers, your voices blend wonderfully. How long have you been performing together?
We can give you the Hollywood numbers, or we can give you the real numbers. 32 years is the real number. But that kind of tells how old are we.
Yeah, we sometimes don't want to give that away, right?
Yeah.
Now, was music part of your life from the time you were very young?
Yes, very young, yes. We grew up in music, definitely.
And tell us about your mission to spread Cape Verdean music, not just on both coasts, but really everywhere in between as well.
Well, it's with this new album, The Gate of Return, our mission is to tell a story. This is the 550th anniversary of Cape Verde as a society. It was formed in 1460, and it is a story of triumph, a story of overcoming. It is a story also that's very much related to the story of the New World, because that's the birthplace of the New World. So, so The Gate of Return, this album takes on a tour. Actually, we've been lecturing mostly about the connection of the history of Cape Verde as it connects to the New World. So we've done a lot of that in museums across the country. Yeah.
And that's kind of the idea tonight. We've got Tim and Daphne Reed standing in the wings over there. We'd love to see them here with us. And tell us a little bit about the program that you're going to be doing tonight.
Thanks to Tim and Daphne to be here in the Legacy Media Institute. They invite us over to come and do a performance tonight. We have the VIP reception at 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. we're going to come in and bring you the islands of Cape Verde into the stage. And,
sound.
What is that like when you go home to Cape Verde Islands? What do the people say about you and your mission, really spreading that type of music from a very small island all around the world?
It's a great question. Music, art and music is our biggest export. Obviously, man too, the human, out of Cape Verde. So music tends to be our ticket to the world, and they
love it.
They love it.
And there's another special guest coming with you tonight as well, the U.S. ambassador from your country.
Yes.
She's driving down from Washington, D.C. She'll be joining us at the performance. Yes.
So really a taste of home.
It's a taste of home, and it's just great to be here. Music is the number one form of communication to the human. So we take it very serious. We don't take it just an entertaining medium, but also to tell our story, to to bring the love, the morabeza, how can you explain morabeza?
Well, morabeza is actually translates, there's one word translates to love. And it is the sort of the key to how we have survived these 550 years, because we chose to pour love back into the societies that were imperfect at their beginnings. And and it's incredible how that word really is so used within the musical arrangements of Cape Verde, and it's part of the fabric of the society. So.
Thank you for sharing that word and your music and the love today. And we're going to hear more. We're going to hear you perform this morning, a little bit later on. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
I got to get some shades.
Thank you, Greg.
Yes, we'll get you shades. Well, the Mendes Brothers will perform later in Virginia this morning, and you can catch them in concert tonight, as they said, at 7 o'clock at the Virginia Museum of Fine Arts in the Leslie Cheek Theater. That's at 200 North Boulevard. Tickets are $25 for the show. That is a bargain.
Looking forward to that. We're looking forward to the forecast. Here is Miss Carrie Rose in the Weather Center. Hey, Carrie.
Hi, Greg and Cheryl. I guess we'll start over in the Cape Verde, since that is what we were just talking about. And we've had 3 systems that have formed as waves off of Western Africa. As a result of that, we've got Tropical Storm Gaston, which formed yesterday out into the eastern Atlantic. We've also got Tropical Storm Fiona, which is to the north of Puerto Rico now, and it is still intensifying. It has got about 50-mile-per-hour sustained winds. And then there's the big guy, the one that we're really watching, which is Hurricane Earl. So let's get straight to Earl. This very large storm. It's more than 400 miles wide, and the eye is still clearly defined. It's a Category 4 storm with maximum sustained winds of 145 miles per hour, and gusts are up to 175. It's now just more than 300 miles to the south of Hatteras, North Carolina. And Hatteras, as you can see by that cloud cover, is already getting the high, thin clouds from Earl overspreading the region. And we will see that by this afternoon in Richmond, too. These are the 2 systems that are steering Earl along the eastern seaboard. It's the high pressure in the Atlantic and the approaching upper trough from the Great Lakes. So that's going to funnel Earl right along the eastern seaboard. And it will be a close call, especially for the Outer Banks, when it will skirt just along the Outer Banks as a major hurricane overnight tonight and into early on Friday morning. There are hurricane warnings for eastern North Carolina and the Outer Banks, and tropical storm warnings for Virginia, and that's where we can expect tropical storm force winds starting overnight tonight and into tomorrow. I'll send it over to Jess.
This segment is sponsored by Richmond International Raceway.
Well, the second of Richmond International Raceway's 2 NASCAR doubleheader weekends rolls into town beginning the 10th of September. Doug Fritz, president of Richmond International Raceway, stops by this morning with a preview of what's in store. NASCAR, everybody is just racing for this weekend, next weekend actually.
Absolutely. I tell you what, it's hard not to get excited about it.
2 big races, doubleheader, everybody looks forward to that. Tell us what's going on Friday.
Well, we've got the Virginia 529 nationwide race Friday night. And then Saturday, of course, is the Sprint Cup Series race, which is the Air Guard 400 this year, brand new sponsor of ours, of the tied into the Air National Guard. And it's going to be a big weekend. We got a lot going on throughout the entire weekend. Actually go on the track this year on Thursday with some practice with a new Nationwide Series car. So it's a full weekend of activities. We'll be the largest sporting event in the state of Virginia this year. So it's going to be a big event.
You're kicking off Thursday with a good cause, for a good cause. Tell us about that.
Yeah, we got a blood drive going on from noon to 5 o'clock on Thursday afternoon. We did this last year, and it really gives us an opportunity to give blood to the Virginia Blood Bank, and it's a great cause, and encourage people to come out. And then the on-track activity on Thursday is free, so if you want to come out, enjoy a day, give for a good cause, give some blood, and see some racing on the track for free, and then hopefully look forward to coming out on Friday or Saturday night.
Yeah, sounds like a great deal. Virginia Blood Services makes it so easy, so you really can come and just make your donation and then go out and enjoy the fun.
And a great atmosphere.
It's
Absolutely.
true. Yeah, you're racing to get through the donation so you can go and enjoy everything else. Now, Friday's race is under the lights.
It is 7:30 start, and actually we go on track about 10 o'clock on Friday with all the practice for the Nationwide Series. We've got the practice as well for the Sprint Cup Series. We got qualifying for both events on Friday afternoon. So Friday's a full day of activities all day long on the racetrack, and then of course capped off with great racing under the lights at 7:30.
And on Saturday, you have a new sponsor for this race.
We do the Air Guard, the Air National Guard, so it's an opportunity for us to gain some exposure for them. I think they tell us about 1% of the country is aware of the Air National Guard, so it's a great opportunity for us to get the word out on the Air Guard. They made me jump out of an airplane at 7,000 feet to promote and announce a new sponsorship. So I did that, but it gives us a good opportunity. It's you know, on 9/11 this year for the very first time, so we're going to pay some special tribute to the events of the tragic events of 9/11 in 2001. So we're working closely with the military and the first responders. So we're going to do a lot of neat things in pre-race to recognize those events.
A nice way for everybody to make sure that they are recognizing on that day.
Absolutely.
What are people excited about for the weekend? What are they looking for?
I tell you what, just racing return to Richmond, just that atmosphere is to come out and enjoy the whole day. You know, it's amazing. Our parking lot's open at 7 o'clock in the morning. And people come up, they're lined up to get in the parking lots first thing in the morning because there's so much going on throughout the entire day.
And tickets are available for both races.
They are. It's easy. You can log on to our website, RIR.com, or dial 866-455-RACE, or come by the ticket office during the day, 8:30 to 5 o'clock.
Now, Saturday's race is part of the road to Richmond, or is that Friday's race?
It's Saturday night, and actually it's the last race to make the chase. So it's always interesting because after Richmond, it's really the playoffs for NASCAR, and this is the last race to either make the playoffs or not make the playoffs. There's also an opportunity for the drivers in the kind of the top 10 right now to really go for an extra win, because wins are what's important when they reseed the teams and drivers after the Richmond race. So you got a lot of drivers going for a win. You got guys trying to make the playoffs or stay in the playoffs. It really adds to a great atmosphere of racing.
It's an exciting time, and if you come out on Thursday, you may just have people stay through the whole weekend.
Come on out. We got camping. We got all kinds. Come on out. Just enjoy the time.
Fantastic.
It's going to be fun.
Thanks, Doug. I appreciate it. All right. Well, you can enjoy the races too. Tickets are available for Friday, September 10th, Virginia 529 College Savings 250 NASCAR Nationwide Series race, and also for Saturday, September 11th, Air Guard 400 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series race. Head online, RIR.com, for tickets, or call 866-455-RACE. All right, we're going to race on over to Greg and Cheryl.
Thank you, Jessica. Well, Russian sage, hydrangeas, and August lily hosta are flowers simply to cut or arrange or hide your co-host. Our resident garden expert, Mark Viette, will show us how easy it is. Mark will share tips on how to keep them in great shape.
Yeah, watching and waiting for Hurricane Earl. We're going to have the very latest on the situation on the coast of Virginia and North Carolina coming up next.
But first, congratulations to today's Read Aloud Virginia Artist of the Day. Deasia from Walnut Hill Elementary School sent us this picture of the butterfly and earns an Arby's Adventure Meal. Stay tuned. There is much more Virginia This Morning ahead for you this morning.
Good morning, Virginia. This is Virginia This Morning.
Well, we have been talking about this for days now, and much of the East Coast is now watching and waiting for an unwelcomed holiday guest, Hurricane Earl. President Obama has declared a state of emergency as this powerful storm closes in. Right now, much of the Outer Banks is under a mandatory evacuation order, including the most popular tourist areas like Nags Head, Kitty Hawk, and Duck, North Carolina. Here in Virginia, Governor McDonnell has ordered a state of emergency to let emergency crews begin their work dealing with this storm before it heads this way. Now, evacuation orders won't keep everyone away. Many people are choosing to ride out the hurricane despite warnings from emergency planners. Karen Brown has the latest on that.
Kevin Broom isn't sticking around for Earl, even if it means cutting his Labor Day weekend short.
Better to be a little disappointed than to get like washed away or something.
The monster hurricane could reach North Carolina late tonight or early Friday before rolling up the East Coast. Watches and warnings stretch all the way to Cape Cod, Massachusetts. While Earl is expected to stay offshore as it makes its way north, a slight shift could put millions in harm's way.
That's why it's important to take the time now while the skies are still clear and the weather's great to make sure you got a plan and you're ready just in case.
Many aren't wasting any time boarding up.
You never know what flying debris you're going to get.
And moving out. Wednesday, officials ordered thousands to evacuate North Carolina's Outer Banks. Not since Hurricane Bob in 1991 has a storm threatened so much of the eastern seaboard. Here in North Carolina, where the rip current is already a concern, the governor has declared a state of emergency. They've done the same for the coastal areas of Virginia and Maryland. But some tourists refuse to let Earl ruin their fun in the sun.
It's our 14th year here, and I'm not ready to go back up to New York and get into my routines.
For those who don't have a place to ride out the storm, Red Cross shelters are being set up.
The shelter's never the best place to be living in, but we will make sure that they have a place to sleep, that they're dry, that they have food to eat.
Supplies they hope won't be needed this time around. Karen Brown, CBS News, Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina.
And we do have crews in the Outer Banks to show you what's happening there. Look for live reports beginning today with CBS 6 News at noon. And you can track the hurricane with our hurricane tracker on WTVR.com. Keeping up with the storm. Greg?
Absolutely. Thanks, Cheryl. Celebrity chef Tyler Florence knows how to put together the ultimate food creations. Coming up next, he reveals tasty game time dishes that will certainly score big with your guests at your next gathering. First, though, he's going to be here in a few minutes, but Mark Vietta's out in the garden now with another helpful hint on keeping your plants and flowers very healthy.
I have a full sun garden that is frequented by deer. Many mornings I'll get up and I'll go out and all my flowers have been chomped by deer. This is a real common problem that a lot of us have. What you really want to focus on is planting deer-resistant plants. And these are plants that deer do not like to eat. Many of those plants tend to be gray in color, and not only that, they have a very strong fragrance. This is one of my favorite deer-resistant plants to use. It's known as Nepeta. Has a beautiful gray foliage, has great blue flowers, easy to grow plant. It also doesn't mind drought-like conditions, but the deer will not touch this unless it's a last resort. So again, plant some of these herbs with fragrance in your garden. Send me or email me a question and I'll try to answer it next time.
Good morning, Virginia. This is Virginia This Morning.
Well, it's hard to believe we're still in summer, but the fall sports season is already here, and you might be looking for some different and tasty game day foods to serve your guests.
Joining us from San Francisco is a guy who knows a thing or two about how to make ultimate dishes. Celebrity chef Tyler Florence whips up some recipes that'll score a touchdown at your next party. Hey there, Tyler.
Hey, Greg, Cheryl, how are you? I like that introduction.
Yeah,
no problem.
Welcome.
You are going to take us beyond nacho chips and maybe some hot wings, huh, today?
Yeah, so we're going to talk about 3 different recipes today. We're going to talk about a grilled shrimp nacho with a grapefruit and avocado salsa on top. It's really delicious. We're going to talk about a grilled avocado stuffed with chili, which, if you've never had a grilled avocado, it's very much a California thing, but if you haven't had it before, it's super easy and is unbelievable. And we're also going to talk about sort of a classic, straightforward guacamole. So when you go to the grocery store, house avocados, right? So that's something you really got to think about, because there's so many different recipes you can make with, a simple avocado, and everybody loves it. You're guaranteed success. So in addition to hot dogs and hamburgers, these are great things as far as like having like great appetizers. That's what I love about great avocados, because they go with so many different things, and they're great sort of large hors d'oeuvres or large appetizers and things that people are really going to like and kind of snack through. So when you go to the grocery store, you definitely want to take a look at a house avocado has the black sort of greenish skin, almost sort of a pebbly texture on the outside. And then what you want to do is kind of take a knife, put it all the way into to the middle until you feel the seed. Take the knife, kind of wrap it around, and then you want to open it up, right? And you have a gorgeous bright green, fleshy avocado. Then take a spoon and scoop out the other side of the seed, and you've got this sort of kind of cavity or this whole space. That what we're going to do is we're going to stuff this with one of my favorite game day recipes, and that's chili, right? So this is my chili recipe. It's made with look at that, isn't that great? Oh. It's made with beef shoulder, and it's made with kidney bean, and also it's thickened up a little bit of mozzarella. Really, really great flavor. So that's going to go into the avocado itself, and it's going to go onto the grill. And then this is actually just a panini press. So this is how easy this is. If you take this and you can plug it into your cigarette lighter in your car and open up your tailgate, and you're ready to roll. And then so it's going to go onto either a barbecue or something like this for about 10 minutes until the avocado becomes kind of warm on the inside. You want to grill it till it's almost kind of cooked. It's got almost like a pudding texture. It's phenomenal. If you haven't had a chance to try this yet, grilled avocados are delicious. So what we're going to do is top this off with something that's really kind of light and crispy, and these are panko breadcrumbs that are in the bottom of the pan, a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. We're going to top that with some seedless jalapeno peppers, and also a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, some cilantro. Give that a nice stir, right? And then that's going to go onto the avocado right at the last minute, some fresh cilantro as a garnish, a little bit of lime juice, and you've got an appetizer that people are just going to tear through. So if you think about wings, you think about some nachos, which you got a good recipe here, this is also a great thing, put on a big platter, put it out, and people are just going to tear through it.
Seems like it's pretty easy to make too, Tyler.
Very, very easy to make. So this could be your favorite chili recipe, or you could really stuff it with anything. Like I've stuffed it with lobster, I've stuffed it with crab. Grilled avocado really kind of goes many different directions, so you can do whatever you want to with it.
Now, how do you pick the perfect ripe avocado?
So avocados, for the most part, when you pick them up, they're either like perfect for right now, or they're going to be perfect tomorrow. And what you want to do if you get one that feels a little firm, what you want to do is kind of put it into a paper bag with an apple, right? And then the natural ethylene gas from the apple itself will speed up the ripening process with the avocado, and they're going to be perfect tomorrow.
Oh, that sounds great. So you don't have to wait for it. So if you didn't buy it right, you can ripen it up right away. What else you got for us today, Tyler?
All right, so this is one of my favorite recipes. This is a grilled shrimp nachos, right, with a grapefruit and avocado salsa on top, and also tons of white cheddar cheese. It's simple cheese sauce, grilled shrimp, and it's a simple recipe of smashed avocado, a little bit of cilantro, some chilies, some fresh grapefruit. So it's got really, really good flavor, lots of great texture, lots of fun stuff to kind of dig your chip into. And this is a really nice example of a modern nacho recipe. So it's not just filled with just like tons of gooey stuff it's all about kind of a rich flavor, but not interesting. This is a great, rich nacho recipe that's really interesting that people are going to talk about for a long time. And then also sort of a classic, just straightforward Hass avocado guacamole recipe, which I like a lot too. And Greg and Cheryl, you can pick up all these recipes at sports.avocadocentral.com. That's sports.avocadocentral.com. They got all these recipes and tons of great tips to really kind of get you going for game day. It's right around the corner, and it's like an American rite of passage for at the weekends. Everyone kind of gets together and kind of celebrates football, and I love it.
Tyler, we are ready for a little tailgating. Thanks so much.
Oh, I wish I were out there with you in San Francisco. That all looks really good. Thanks, Tyler.
Right. I'll see you later. Thanks.
All right.
Feeling like the summer, but you know, it's still going to feel like summer for a long time, and fall is around the corner.
That's right. Let's check weather.
Okay, thanks. We are keeping a close eye on Hurricane Earl, which is going to approach the Outer Banks this afternoon and evening. We're looking out at Virginia Beach right now, though. You can see that the surf is still kicking up pretty good, and the surfers are out taking advantage of these higher waves before conditions deteriorate overnight. But the other thing I want to show you in this live shot from Virginia Beach is the high clouds that are moving in on the horizon. That is Earl. Let me show you where it is right now. It is still just to the east of Jacksonville and also of Savannah and parts of Georgia. It is a large storm, about 400 miles wide. It has maximum sustained winds at 145 miles per hour, and it's about 300 miles to the south of Hatteras, which is where it's going to make its closest approach to the Outer Banks overnight tonight. It's being funneled by high pressure in the Atlantic and a trough over the Great Lakes, and it will pass within about 40 to 50 miles of Hatteras overnight tonight as a major hurricane, overspreading hurricane force winds, which is greater than 74 miles per hour, sustained with higher gusts, and we expect tropical storm force winds in Virginia, eastern parts of the state. But the hurricane warning is just south of our state line into North Carolina. We've got the tropical storm warning in the eastern parts of our state, with Hampton Roads included. So what are the impacts that we're talking about? The Outer Banks this afternoon will start to feel those tropical storm force winds up to 73 miles per hour, increasing to hurricane force overnight. Surge from the South Chesapeake Bay and southward along our coastline will be 3 to 5 feet, and you can expect anywhere else along the bay and inland up the rivers to get a little bit of coastal flooding as well.
All right, thank you, Carrie. Special guest in the studio today. We talked earlier with Ramiro and João Mendes. And up next here on Virginia this morning, your special treat, a performance by the Mendes Brothers. We look forward to it. We'll see that right after the break.
Put some crunch into your life with Hardee's new hand-breaded chicken tenders. Free! Caller number 6 to 342-3413. You'll win a Hardee's prize pack. Again, call 342-3413 and good luck.
Just a little bit higher. A little higher? Just a little higher, just a little.
Okay. So I'll be back.
Good morning, Virginia. This is Virginia This Morning.
Hey, welcome back. Ramiro and João Mendes, they pretty much have dedicated their entire careers promoting the music of Cape Verde.
Their Richmond concert is tonight at 7 at the Virginia Museum of Fine Arts. But first, here are the Mendes Brothers with The Gate of Return.
Celebração de nossa vitória, triunfo mais grande da história. Portão de Ribeira Grande é nosso portão de regresso. Está de braço aberto para receber ser famílias, famílias de nós diáspora africana do Atlântico, para não bem celebrar. Triunfo de nós, humanidade. Argentina, Equador, Belize, El Salvador, Costa Rica, Panamá, México. Passar, portão de regresso. Jamaica, Cuba, Porto Rico, Haiti, Guadalupe. Tudo passa ali, portão de regresso. Barbuda, Saba, Bahamas, St. Croix, República Dominicana, Boné. Tudo passa ali, portão de regresso. Estácios, Antigua, Cayman Islands, Turcos e Caicos, Aruba. Tudo passa, portão de regresso. Granada, Grenadines, Antila, Tobago, Trinidad, Antilles. Tudo passa ali, portão de regresso. Saint Lucia, Saint Vincent, Saint Kitts, Coração, Bermuda. Tudo passa,
Watch the Mendes Brothers in concert tonight at 7 o'clock at the Virginia Museum of Fine Arts, right in the Leslie Creek Theater, right there at 200 North Boulevard. Tickets, they are $25. Not a bad deal.
I think they've added another brother.
Right here. It's going to be a trifecta tonight.
How can you not get in the mood, right? Well, still to come on Virginia this morning, satisfying more than just your sweet tooth. A new West End donut shop also serves up opportunities. We'll explain after the break.
Hey, first, we want you to enjoy some great music on us. Call 342-3413 right now. Caller 6 wins 2 tickets to see the Mendes Brothers and me in the concert tonight at the Museum of Fine Arts right there on the Boulevard. Again, the number 342-3413. Good luck. Stay tuned. Much more ahead on Virginia This Morning.
To the set. Absolutely. I'm scared I'll drop it. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you.
Let's talk about you guys on the radio all the time.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you so much.
Miss Joanne, can I
Yes.
get you to say your name and count to 10 for me, please, ma'am?
Joanne, 1.
You're good to go. Hey.
Good morning, Virginia. This is Virginia This Morning.
This local Women Who Mean Business segment is sponsored by Daylight Donuts.
Well, the West End now has a donut shop close by, and I've already had a taste of it. It's fantastic. Joanne Ellis and Lance Elwood celebrated the official grand opening of Daylight Donuts yesterday, but the shop is an opportunity to continue to cheer for. Joanne and Lance join us this morning sharing their story. Thanks so much for joining us.
Well, thanks for having us,
Yes,
Jessica.
thank you.
It's local women who mean business, and today local men who mean business too.
Thank you.
Everybody's joining in the We Mean Business.
That's right.
Tell us a little bit. You guys have a separate venture, and we'll get to that, but let's start first with Daylight Donuts. It just opened.
Well, Daylight Donuts, we did open. We did a soft opening starting in June, just so we could get the flow of the business, train our staff, know what we were doing, and then we had our grand opening yesterday. It was a huge success. We started at 6 a.m., went to 9 p.m., and probably sold over.
About 12,000 donuts, I think.
Mamma mia!
Yeah, we were making donuts all day long.
Well, that keeps everybody busy.
Yeah.
And that's part of the plan. You guys have a separate venture, Career Support Systems, and Daylight Donuts sprang from that.
Yes. We have been in business since 1993, Career Support Systems, where we provided employment services to people with disabilities. We help people with disabilities find employment in the community. We were awarded a grant from the Department of Rehabilitative Services to help fund some of the equipment for the donut shop. And the goal there would be to provide assessments for individuals with disabilities to determine if the types of jobs in a donut shop or another retail environment would be appropriate for them, and then assess whether there might be some appropriate applicants from those assessments of actually being hired in the donut shop.
Now, I was out on Sunday, Lance, and taste tested there too, so I know there's consistent product because I had another bite this morning and it's really great. Tell me about starting this shop. I mean, some people may think, wow, opening a new business during the recession, but this should work out, right?
Oh yeah. We did a lot of research, and for years we were looking for another business that would complement our other business in helping folks mainstream into the workforce. We were fortunate enough to partner with Daylight Donuts, and they've just got an incredible product and support, and the flour is really what makes the donut, and the quality of their flour is something that is evident when you taste the donuts. But yeah, starting a business was a tricky time to do it, but we've been very fortunate, and things are going really well with it.
Less than $1 for a donut, so it's kind of recession-proof.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And everybody loves donuts. The donuts bring up memories from your past.
It's true. I saw quite a few different types of customers in. There were kids and parents and couples and all sorts of folks coming in into the store and just sitting down and sharing, taking a minute to relax and enjoy donut.
And we have such a wide variety of donuts that it really meets everyone's needs, from the yeast raised donuts to the cake donuts to the different icings that we put on the donuts. So it really is for a little bit for everyone.
And you were talking, Lance, a little bit about the flour is what makes the difference.
Right.
What is the idea behind Daylight Donuts?
Daylight Donuts has been around since 1954. It started, a man and his wife started it out of the trunk of their car, and it grew rapidly in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And now there are almost 1,000 Daylight Donuts independently owned operations around the country. We're the only one in Virginia, though. But essentially they're a large flour company, and their model is to help people start donut shops by providing a lot of support, but they sell us their flour. And they do a lot of work to really make the best specialty blends to make sure the donuts are light and fluffy, and that's where we're different from the other donuts out there.
They are light and fluffy. I made my selection and then realized, oh, there was some more, so I'm just going to have to go back, I think.
We'd
you
love
have to taste
to
them
have
all.
you come back.
That's right. Well, thanks so much for sharing your story. You guys are working on a great project.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, it was our pleasure. Local men and women who mean business. Check out Daylight Donuts at 10260 West Broad Street in Glen Allen. It's near Innsbruck. You can visit online, daylightdonutsva.com, or call 217-5705. Greg and Cheryl, I'm going to finish my donut and then send it over to you.
All right, have one or two for us too. Well, we're bringing the colors of summer in from the garden right into your home. Check this out.
Coming up next, our buddy Mark Viet shares a lesson on fresh flower arrangements that last and last and last. We'll be right back.
One, two, three, 4, 5.
Good morning, Virginia. This is Virginia This Morning.
You know, bringing fresh flowers right into your home adds color and fragrance, but is there a best time of day to actually cut them?
Of course, our garden guru, Mark Viet, has the answer and joins us with some beautiful flowers that make beautiful arrangements. Mark, it's a pleasure.
Hey, it's great seeing you. It's so easy. I mean, that's the thing you got to think of. Simple is very important because you can make flower arranging or even gardening complicated. It's not complicated. It's easy. And it's simple. I mean, look at this one arrangement right here.
It's gorgeous.
3 leaves of golden hosta and 3 of your tree hydrangea. That's it, 3 flowers. That's the arrangement. So
very simple.
Very simple. And the one right to your left is the Russian sage and then the blue mist shrub.
Beautiful. And that is beautifully aromatic.
It is. It's got a lot of fragrance. And that's so easy. You just put, you know, these in as your base, and then when you're done arranging, you know, it takes longer sometimes to cut the flowers than to arrange it.
Yeah, are these tough to care for in your garden,
no,
though?
Easy. But the best time to cut is early in the morning, or, you know, if you have to late in the evening, but I like to do it when it's nice and cool in the morning where the stems are really full of a lot of moisture and water. And then there's other things you can use, like ornamental grasses, and this is known as the northern sea oats, and it's very similar to the beach oats. And it is, you know, you just go out and cut a couple of these. Then you can go out if you've got some ferns. Now, I don't recommend you go into your neighbor's yard at night, but let me tell you.
You do that at night.
You have that option, and you just come in here. You know, don't worry about where you place. You can always change it.
Because you can be frozen with indecision, though, Mark.
Well, that's, you don't want to, no, you want to just see if your natural creative abilities that I think we all have come out, and then you just rearrange them, and you know, you can change it and look at it, but then you just come in here with ornamental grasses.
Now this is a nice one because it's a 360-degree view.
Yes.
No matter how you turn this, or you could put this in the middle of the room. It's not up against a wall or anything.
It's a conversation
piece. More designed
And
that way.
But they're so simple. You know, again, just 3 items, and a lot of us have these in the garden. Or you can find these in the woodlands and so forth, like the ferns. And these are really hard, or rather easy to grow plants, not hard to grow plants. And you just work your way, and then, you know.
It's something like this, Mark, it's not set in stone or anything, so you can go back if you don't like it and just
you know,
rearrange.
you can go ahead and pull out the ferns if you want, and so forth. But that is very simple.
Now, how do we prep the water so that we get the longest lasting time out of these arrangements?
Well, when you're actually arranging them, usually warm water works well. Add a teaspoon of bleach to every gallon of water, and that will help preserve them.
You don't get that smell once they've been in the water for a while.
No, not at all. And just to show you how simple, and if you want to create, let's say you got a big foyer, and you want to do something in your foyer, all you need to do.
Now that's a wow piece right there.
Oh yeah. Now this is an ornamental grass, and it's called cabaret. It's going to cover me up, but you know, you can just, again, nice and green.
As simple as that, Mark.
It is, but you can do something different. You can come in on part of it and lay this on a table.
And what do we have here?
This is called vinca. It's a variegated vinca. And just to add something, and you can even use sweet potato vine that many of us have. So you just come in like this and you lay it on a table, and you're just going to come in here, and just to add something a little different, you can just do something and
make it multi-dimensional.
Yeah, just lay it on a table. So that's it. So again,
it took you all of 45 seconds.
That's it. And it, like I said, you know, a few seconds to cut it. And then what you can do for ornamental grasses, because if you can look, you can see lots of pollen. You can just get hairspray and just spray the ornamental grasses like this.
And what does that do, Mark?
And it dries the pollen and the seed to the flowers, so you don't get the shedding.
And you won't be sneezing inside, hopefully.
Right.
Not.
Now, you're not going to anyway be sneezing, but it just holds it, and you just let it sit, and then you can use this, and it'll last longer and not fall apart.
Oh, well, thank you, Mark. Some great ideas today. Some simple things that everybody can do in their own yard.
And anybody can do.
That's right. Thank you. Right now, I want to get a quick check, I believe, on weather. Carrie's standing by.
Okay, thanks, Cheryl and Greg. We are already seeing the increase in high clouds from Earl. If you look out anywhere in eastern or central Virginia, you'll see those high, thin clouds. and that is Earl's outermost cloud bank that's moving over parts of Virginia and North Carolina. Tomorrow in Richmond, as Earl passes just to the east of our coastline by about 100 miles, it will be a breezy day in Richmond. We're talking about 15 to 25 mile-per-hour winds. There may be occasional higher gusts. Those rain chances are not as a result of Earl, but will be from a cold front coming in the evening, which will keep us milder and dry through the Labor Day holiday. Greg and Cheryl?
All right, thanks,
Thank you,
Carrie. Tomorrow on Virginia This Morning, he's melded rock, jazz, and blues to really create his own unique sound. Keaton Simons performs live for us right here in the studio.
Looking forward to that coming in from California. And we're tipping our hat to a welcome tradition returning to fall fashion. Watch tomorrow morning for the latest trends in hats for the upcoming season. They're not just for church anymore.
No, and it's September, so fall's right here.
Unfortunately, it's right around the corner. Hopefully, we've got a lot more summer yet to come.
Well, with a guy like Mark Viette hanging these right around here, I think we're good.
Okay.
It looks like some. Oh, wait a minute.
Jessica's got her donut.
Oh, I knew the
Oh, look at
smell
this.
was luring me. And now, did I hear that
Wasn't
they're
the flowers?
lighter and fluffier? Okay.
She's speechless. They're so good.
Thanks for joining us here on Virginia This Morning. We'll see you with a news and weather update at noon.
See ya.